Slick is the addict in me, telling me to make bad decisions.
In my opinion, Slick represents the internal dialogue that we engage in. I believe it's been typed as the characterological conflict. It's the voices within our mind that try to sway us. I believe the old cartoon depicted it as the devil on one shoulder and the angel on the other. Well, Slick is the devil.
Millions of people regularly use drugs and alcohol, even though they damage one or more important areas of their lives. Areas like their work, key relationships, and legal issues. Why do they keep using despite these problems? Well, the answer is simple. There's a voice in their head that convinces them that it's okay to keep using even though their life may be deteriorating. That voice is Slick. And this video is designed to help you understand Slick so that you can resist him.
I really do not care for that introduction. Yes, it's true that my name is Slick, and yes, it's also true that I want to help you stay connected to drugs and alcohol. But I'm not hurting you. No, what I'm really doing is helping you. In fact, you can consider me your best friend. Why? Because I know what you really like. It's using drugs and alcohol. And what I will do is give you great advice so that you can use drugs and alcohol guilt-free. Let's hear what other people say about me and how they've experienced my advice in their life.
I mean, there's been a guy like Slick, or a voice in my head, always telling me that, oh, you can do this, it's no big deal, or just try it once, or, you're not going to get in trouble if you just do this. And Slick only shows you, especially in times when I've gotten sober, he's only shown me the good parts about my life in addiction, the excitement, the fun. Oh, this is going to be great.
He is right. I always try to help party people be positive about their party lifestyle. It's important that I remind you of all the great times you've had in the past getting high, plus the great times you can have in the future. Sure, it's true that the party lifestyle has, itty-bitty risks. Things like divorce, unemployment, and, going to jail are not pleasant. But why think about stuff like that? It'll only bring you down. In fact, if thinking about that makes you depressed, I think you should use a little speed or cocaine. You'll feel great in no time.
He doesn't show me jail. He doesn't show me living on the streets, homeless, no family, no friends. He doesn't show me any of that. All he shows me is, hey, out at the bar, meeting new people, drinking, using drugs, getting high. Wow, this is so much fun. He doesn't show the cops pulling me over, arresting me, and my life, being ruined.
Slick is very crafty. Slick really gets into my head, even today. He'll tell me that I am just at a point where it's okay to use. It's okay to just go have a drink or go take a pill out of that person's medicine cabinet. They'll never know. You can save it for when you get into that angry moment with your daughter, or when somebody gets you upset for whatever reason, or you're having a bad day at work. Then you can just slip it out of your purse and take it. Nobody will ever know. Slick is very crafty.
Frankly, I don't care for the word crafty. I much prefer to use the word helpful instead. She described one way I try to help people, and that's to remind them that you can use drugs and alcohol without other people knowing. Duh. You just need to do it right. Some of you watching this video are in treatment because you got caught. So using isn't the problem. Getting caught was the problem. If you're just more careful next time, everything will be okay.
Slick, I think, had me in his claws so deeply and so strongly that I think I knew I was powerless, and it got to the point where I just didn't care anymore, where I just walked away from anything spiritual, and I started just running with him full time, and it got to the point where I was literally on a suicide mission. I just didn't care if I lived or died anymore, and did a lot of stupid things, took my life into my own hands several times, things involving guns and motorcycles and crazy risks that it's by God's grace that I'm here at all, but I just didn't care anymore.
Slick convinces you that your choices and your lifestyle is okay. The things that you do is okay. Everybody else is crazy, but you're okay.
I had no control over what I knew to do that was right. But in myself, in my mind, Slick would always overpower me to that I would always go with what Slick was saying.
And it's true that using drugs and alcohol can cause people to do things that they typically think is wrong. Yes, every now and then, when you have to lie or manipulate or permanently borrow something that might be a violation of your values. But here's where I can be very helpful. I can help you change your thinking about your values or what's right and wrong, so that when you lie or manipulate, you just won't care. I'll help you see that the ends justify the means. And what's the most important end? To justify getting high.
And it does comparisons. I mean, I recall a time where heroin addicts thought they were better than winos. Somehow they had a higher status. Cocaine addicts thought they were better than heroin addicts, and so on and so forth. Unless you're in Skid Row, sleeping under the bridge, drinking Sterno, you're not really an alcoholic. Yeah, I have like 3 or 4 martinis at lunch and 5 or 6 when I come home, but I'm gainfully employed and I'm a good business person, so it's not affecting me. What's the problem? And there are people who would believe that if you legalize drugs, the real problem is the criminality, not the drug itself, which is, it's being diluted. And I think the voice of Slick would encourage you to make those comparisons. Look, you're not as bad as this one. Sure, you get high, but look, they're really bad. You're not that bad. And so it kind of justifies you continuing to go on that downward spiral until you are just as bad, if not worse, or dead.
Now that you've watched this video, you want to carefully and thoroughly consider how it applies to you. 2 of the best ways to do that is to discuss it in group, or if you're not in a group, to at least note down on a worksheet how it applies to you and what you want to do about it.